we're looking at is some of the modern technology behind dairy farming. Welcome to a brand new episode of Go Edmonton. I'm your host, Dana Giesbrecht, and today we are at Campus Farms, a farm 30 minutes north of Edmonton, to promote an event called From Farm to Fork, a culinary adventure, that shows you where your food comes from. And sometimes it's a little messy. Well, stay tuned for all those details, but up first, Shaw TV's Tim Dancy learns how lung disease sufferers are taking matters over drugs into their own hands. These are some of the robotics in the dairy industry. What's happening here is the cow that's currently in the stall that's looking at us on camera. She's very curious with the lights. The equipment has cleaned her udders, then milks her, then disinfects her, all the while she's being fed. So it's quite relaxing for the cows. And because they are such creatures of habit, they don't even mind. They just go on their merry way, and then another cow comes into the stall. And this is some of the equipment that we're going to show you on today's show, the modern technology in the agricultural industry. So stay tuned, lots of information coming up. But right now, it's time for an all-new Bobtail Gloves Big Summer. All right, now I have a view of the entire barn. But what I find really interesting is everything is based around computer technology. This is actually a monitor that the cows wear around their neck on a collar, and this goes to this computer. And this is Kathy Campus of Campus Farms working away on the computer. So much technology, it's very fascinating. On these collars that the cows have with them, it tells the computer how much they're eating, how much milk they're producing, when the last time they calved was, and it's all kept in a database. And coming up on the show, we're going to be speaking with Kathy and learning a little bit more about the dairy industry. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Go. Welcome back to the show. If you're just tuning in now, we're at Campus Farms, a dairy farm about 30 minutes north of Edmonton. And I've got a little sweetie just sucking on my finger here, about a week old. And we've been showing you some of the modern technology behind dairy farming. Pretty fascinating. Here's some more shots of the equipment we were talking about earlier in the show. And the reason we're here today is we're here to promote an event called From Farm to Fork, a culinary adventure that shows you where your food comes from. And coming up in the show, we'll be speaking with Kathy Campus, the owner of Campus Farms, as well as Carrie from Taste, Alberta. So stay tuned. We'll have all that information. But right now, Shaw TV videographer Alexa McLean introduces us to a child who still manages to have the brightest smile despite having more than 90 surgeries. Take a look. Okay, now I'm teasing two at the same time. I'm going to go get washed up, a little slobbery here, but stay tuned. Coming up in the show, we're speaking with Kathy Campus of Campus Farms, and you're going to be interested to learn the dairy farming is way more high-tech than you thought it would be. As well, all the information you need to know to enjoy From Farm to Fork. So stay tuned for that. But right now, Shaw TV's Tim Dancy lets us know how the Edmonton Waste Management Centre is holding on to their top spot as a world leader in recycling. We are now here with Carrie Celine of Taste, Alberta, talking a little bit about these tours and what people can expect from farm to fork. Why do you think it's so important that people see where their food comes from?
I think it's important because people have an interest in where their food comes from. They want to have a story behind it. They want to meet the farmer. They think that food tastes better when they can see where it's from and it's fresher. So yeah, I think that it's about the story and the farm story, and they get that when they can feel proud of what they're eating.
This is in conjunction with the 124th Street Grand Market, and when people are shopping the market, how often do you think, hey, I wonder where this milk came from or where these vegetables came from? Do you think they ever imagine the farm in their mind, or are they just focused on getting it off the table onto their own table?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, because I think it's a little bit of both. I think a lot of people that go to farmers markets already have that interest, that they're already wanting that face behind their food, and I think some maybe just like the fresh produce kind of thing and maybe are not getting that full story. So on the Farm to Fork event on July 13th, we really hope to kind of broaden that story and broaden their education or broaden their reach in terms of what they can see and smell and
lots of smells.
Lots of smells, yeah, and then enjoy a delicious lunch using that local food at the end of the day.
Awesome. Well, speaking of the face behind the food, we are also here with Kathy Campus of Campus Farms. Talk a little bit about why you want to share your farm with people of the community.
Well, we're proud of what we do. We enjoy what we do, and we're just really open to having people come and see our barn, see our facilities, see our animals, and
be able to see where the milk they drink, the yogurt, cheese, all of that is.
All that good stuff. Ice cream as well.
Yes.
One thing that I found interesting since we've been here today is that milk never touches the hand, the human hand. It's so much more high tech than I ever thought it would be. I think a lot of us at home still picture the farmer with the bucket milking, on a little stool beside the cow, but technology has come so far and it's very different than what you might expect.
It is. It's, we milk with voluntary milking system, which is a robotic, which is the sort of latest technology for dairy farming. And milk does not touch the human hand. And
got someone nipping your bum.
It is quite technical. And I do think that people are very interested in it. In seeing how robotics work.
Very.
So I do.
All right, Kathy, thanks so much for sharing your farm with us today. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we're heading to Sparrow's Nest Farm. We'll be right back on Go. That is spinach over there on the end, and then all of these plants with the little white flowers, these are strawberry plants. Welcome back to the show. If you're just tuning in now, we've been bouncing around the countryside promoting an event called From Farm to Fork. We just left Campus Dairy Farm, and we're currently at Sparrow's Nest Organic Farm. We're going to be speaking with the farmer here and learn what it means to be certified organic and what they grow on the property. Everything from A to Z. And again, the event is July 13th, a partnership with Taste Alberta and the 124th Street Grand Market. We're going to give you that website so you can get your tickets one more time before we leave. But right now, Shot TV's Bianca Jade finds out how a local not-for-profit is ensuring that every child gets the opportunity to ride a bike this summer, no matter their physical challenges. So when you're at the farmer's market and you're grabbing that nice bushel of carrots or that little tray of raspberries or strawberries, where does it come from? I am here with Graham Sparrow of Sparrow's Nest Farm, and thank you for having us on your farm today. You've got strawberries and raspberries and some other good stuff growing behind me, but like I mentioned earlier, you grow pretty much everything A to Z.
Yeah, that's right. We grow about 40 different crops out here on the farm, all certified organic, so 12 years certified organic. Really striving to produce a high quality, locally grown product that people in the city can really wrap their teeth around and have a good time buying and eating as well.
Why do you think it's important that people come out and visit your farm and see how you grow your produce and get a little more knowledge about the farm itself?
It really connects people to their food supply and what we're doing out here, how much work it really is to grow food. People tend to be pretty disconnected with living in the urban environment about where their food comes from and what it takes to grow the food and get it harvested and nice and fresh into the city. And so it's great for them to just come and see what we do.
What I find interesting about you is that you're actually a city boy. You have a degree in economics, and from traveling the world, you decide one day, I'm going to take up farming. You never hear a story like that very often.
It really resonated. My experience when I was traveling overseas, working on organic farms really just hit to my core, and that's what I've been doing for 20 years now. It really has a lot of meaning for me, and I love to produce the food we do, and I really stand behind the product that we offer to the public.
Awesome. And what do you hope people take away when they come visit your farm? If there's one little tidbit of information, what do you hope they really think about next time they're at the market or the grocery store when they're buying produce?
I hope they really start to identify with where their food's coming from and start to identify with the farmer that's growing their food and working hard to get it to their table.
How hard are you working?
Pretty hard this morning. It's not been so hard, but they're pretty long days. 10-hour days that's a short day for us, and so sometimes we're doing 12 and 14. Yesterday was a 16-hour day, but in the winter we get some time to relax and chill out. So.
Winter's off, not like those dairy farmers. They're going all year long.
Yeah, I know.
When people do come and tour your farm for the event on July 13th, they're going to be able to sample some of your goods as well.
Absolutely. We'll have lots. The farm's full on right now, so we'll have lots of washed greens, the spinach and arugula, and we do baby lettuce mix, and we'll be hoping to have some strawberries available and lots of good stuff.
Very nice. Graham, thanks so much for your time. Before we go, here is your on-the-go calendar. All right, if you want to attend From Farm to Fork, the event again is July 13th, and you can get your tickets at tastealberta.ca. I'm your host, Dani Giesbrecht. We'll see you next time.